I finally finished this series, and Ryan Murphy, you really did the absolute most. And I don't know how I feel about it, but let's get into it, you guys. If you're new here, my name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. And y'all know that I am here to put you on. And we are back to talk Netflix Monsters Season 2, the Lyle and Erik Menendez story. Now, y'all, the creative license that was taken in a lot of areas, I don't know how I feel about it, y'all. I honestly don't. But again, we know that Monsters is an anthology series created by Ian Brennan and Ryan Murphy, where they highlight true crimes, right? The first one was Dahmer. Now we are talking the Menendez brothers. Oh, and y'all, it was a lot going on, a lot that can't be confirmed. And actually, one of the brothers, Eric, has something to say about this, and I'm going to insert it right here. But basically, speaking to the incestuous innuendo that's given throughout, and not even just innuendo, but some moments that we see. And he completely refutes that. He says that Lyle is not the monster he's been created to be. Before we dive in, I do just want to say this. The first half of the series, it does seem to be from the brothers' perspective, right? And then the final half we get is more or less, I believe, the public's eye, maybe even Dominique Dunn's eye. And do I think it's unfair? Parts. I do. Because again, this is all said and done. The verdicts have come down and they are where they are. But here's my personal belief and takeaway. After watching this, after knowing what I've known in the past, do I believe SA happened? Absolutely. At the hands of their daddy. Absolutely. And I think that would alter anyone's brain chemistry, the way they show up in the world. And I think it could introduce mental health issues. It definitely would, right? Did that justify the crime? I don't know, but I what I do know is if my father had done that to me and my mother knew about it and didn't do anything, it would drive somebody to madness. Period. Point blank. Were Eric and Lyle perfect individuals? No. And were there some other things going on? I believe that as well. I think both can be true. And so when after watching it, that would kind of be my stance, right? I am not I guess, or against, we have to acknowledge the essay. And then with the whole Menudo thing, the dad was vile, point blank, period. And I believe them. I don't believe they made that up. I don't. But, as we're going, again, if you love TV, movies, all that stuff, consider subscribing, consider the membership here. It's fun over here, okay? Become a sweet pea. But again, we know that this was all about Eric and Lyle's unaliving of mother and father in the most brutal way, right? And seemingly we thought, according to the series, that they were almost going to get away with it, right? We thought that. But then we discover that, tried to blame it on the mob because the daddy was already corrupt, doing some other stuff, and decided they're going to go to the psychologist and pour their hearts out. Well, Eric does, honey, because he's becoming unglued about everything that's happened, and get out of the way. It comes out they're on trial, and so the series follows the brothers from before, right? We actually meet them the day of the funeral, and from there on we get flashbacks to what happened, and then finally we go through them getting their attorneys, and finally, the mistrial, and the second time actually being convicted, to without the possibility of parole. And so, as we're kind of this journey, again, there's a lot of salacious things that take place. Now, we knew about the essay from the father, but introduced in this is that the brothers had an incestuous relationship as well. Lyle, this was being done to him, started on his little brother. And ultimately, it turned into a situation because that was their normal, right? They had to normalize it, is what the documentary portrays. Again, Eric has made a statement stating that that's not true. Lyle is not a monster. there was nothing that happened between them. All of the SA came from the father. So do with that as you will. We meet the attorneys as they come. We're introduced to Dominic Dunn, who at that time, I guess, after the daughter of his daughter, one of the stars, Dominique Dunn from Poltergeist, he kind of this campaign to become this investigative journalist, who to get justice for victims because his daughter was brutally unalived as well. And so we're kind of at his dinner parties making conjecture. Uh, it's a lot going on. And so again, we're kind of because he has no mercy initially. He's like, F them kids. I don't give a dang. The parents didn't deserve it. I don't think that's what happened. I think they had a relationship between each other. And I believe that that is where the are taking that narrative that they were together. And so again, we're going through the journey. Again, it's there are moments that are extremely hard to watch. So I would caution you to that. I will say I did like the portrayal of Kai or Eric's lawyer, Abramson, right? I thought they did a great job. I think the actress in that role did a great job in conveying, for them. I think, of course, it was about the bread because they said she made $1 million off the trial. But for her to take the second trial pro bono really went a long way to show that she felt as though they deserve to be free, right? She talks about her other clients who are walking the streets of LA now, and that too were the least dangerous. Now, were they the least dangerous? I don't know. Lyle did cross as extremely unhinged. Again, even his character go through this, even his moments of hubris and the whole book thing and giving all the secrets um to the lady, I it's a product of the SA. I can't help but think that even the loss situation with him, what 13, 14, 15-year-old loses their hair? Something is going on that cannot be denied in my opinion. Again, overall, a ton of liberties are taken on Ryan Murphy and the creators and the writers part. And I think you have to be sensitive that although they were the perpetrators of the crime, they're also the victims. You know what I mean? I would love to know you guys' thoughts. I will say this was amazingly, in my opinion. I think all of the actors involved did an amazing job. We know Javier Bardem is going to act down every single time. He was an excellent villain in portraying Jose. The actors played Kyle and Eric, I think, did a great job throughout this entire series. We know that Chloe is going to do her big one as Kitty. And the Kitty could never, no disrespect to that lady. We know had Ryan Murphy's fingerprint all over it. So as far as like the cinematography and the way that it's shot, it's it's kitsch, right? Like it's him, what he does. So that felt like him. Again, overall, I think these types of stories make us look inward, right? I don't think they're just a spectacle, but I do think that they give cautionary tales about things that happen behind the and beneath the surface. And there were serious themes that need to be addressed, of course, of SA, but then not only that, but mental health, how one gets help, and how the people that they went to for help were really trying to prey on them as well. It was a lot of this was predatory, honestly. If I can be honest, the show was a bit as well. But you guys drop it in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of this. Did they do justice to this story? Like I said, so present day update. Both of the brothers are married. I believe Eric's been married to his wife for a very long time, and Lyle is married as well. And basically, they say that these wives are the lifeline. If I had to choose moments in the series that were especially kind of heartbreaking, definitely episode 5 when we see Erik and his attorney Abramson having a conversation and him detailing the need for the lemon juice, the need for the cinnamon. That was utterly heartbreaking. There's also another moment when they're having an exchange and he is defending his mother. And she says, no, I know you love her. I know you want to defend her, but nothing about it was okay. And I know that there's a lot of thoughts that this documentary painted them in a bad light. And I think, like I said, I think both can be true. I think they could be little snots and brats. And I also think that they could have been victims as well. You can't tell me that some of those moments were faked on the witness stand and that it didn't ring true, even if there were lies added to it. Did they make the best choices? Absolutely not. Even during their incarcerations, they didn't. But again, it's just hard. And I think at the end, and again, it did take a turn the last half of the season, and even in the boat, are you sure you want to do it? And it's going back and forth between who really wanted this done. In the beginning, Erik admits it was his idea, the Billionaire Boys Club. And then later, it's like, oh, Lyle is the one who did this. And then at the very end on the yacht scene, it's like, yeah, it was Erik. He was going to cry about it, but he wanted to do it. Will we ever know the truth? I don't think so. I think the truth lies somewhere in between. I think it lies in the cracks. I just hope that now they can somehow find peace. But I don't think the parents were innocent. Did I Would I wanted to see them go out that way? No. Would I have hoped that the boys, they were almost out of the house completely? Do I wish they would have just ran away or got away? I absolutely do. But there's also a part of me that has empathy and compassion for them. There were some moments of tears, and like I said, I think both can be true. I think they could be tortured and abused kids, and I also believe that they could be brats as well and premeditate a crime, which they absolutely did. Now, does the punishment fit the crime? A jury of their peers decided so, and a judge did as well. But with these documentaries, not documentaries, but even these biopics, these series can get the wheels turning and people willing to step in and advocate. I'll be interested to see what happens going forward. But you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.